Network of awareness makes your brain coherent. One of the fastest growing podcasts. You can hear it 24/7. Got listeners out in London, informationalists in Paris. Echo spreading out, no parrot. Just dissect, digest, and share it. The righteous rhymes hit the spirit. Click 90 times, it won't perish. Cause y'all's the mind ain't no fairy tale like the belly our parents. It's time to rise, don't get wary. United minds, it's apparent. Download every single errand, but most ain't fit to catch it, even if they were Larry. Interviews, the interludes, they enter you, taking you on a journey like no other. It places you in a state of awareness. It's your fault if you hate the truth, cause Yahweh been Yahweh's on his way, my brother. Better change your views. All praise, yeah.
Hello, positive people. You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness podcast radio station, giving you in-depth information on society and culture in America and abroad, with messages of inspiration, with keen insights, reputable interviews, and much more. So now, without further ado, your host of the Network of Awareness podcast, Aura, the informationalist.
Yes, peace and greetings, brothers and sisters in this truth from around the world. I want to welcome you to the Network of Awareness podcast radio show. And this is Wisdom Wednesdays of season 4, episode 49, Gender X, the Mutant series. This show is brought to you by our sponsor, A1 Career Services. And if you are looking for a job, if you're looking for remote employment where you can work virtually, and also if you are a business entrepreneur and you're looking to hire employees and need to fill positions and roles, contact Anita Britton at a1careers.com. So people, this is going to be good. So definitely be aware. And I got a lot to say about this topic because the Luciferian agenda is alive and well here in the United Serpents of America. And the fuckery is only beginning. I've talked about this a lot, but this thing right here is affecting every single country around the world. And there's only a few countries that are not really supporting this nonsense. And that's why I give props to Russia, because Russia's not playing this game. But this is just an agenda to distort the level of perception of our children. Because this, what I'm going to discuss today when it comes to Gender X and the whole movement behind this is just part of eugenics. This is part of a depopulation plan that goes so deep. Because when you start to have people like this, it really messes up how we reproduce human civilization. This is distorting the natural Yahweh Elohim principle, our great creator. This is distorting the creator's universal principles of life. And this is just another form, another tactic, another way that they are trying to distort reality. And I'm talking about the dark satanic forces. And they're doing it heavy here in the United States. So I want to welcome you all to tonight's show on Wisdom Wednesdays, Gender X, the Mutant series.
You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness.
Please just tell me what's happening to me in plain English without the mumbo jumbo. How you doing?
How you doing, brothers and sisters in this truth? I'm already informationless here from the Network of Awareness. Shout outs to all the brothers and sisters from around the world that support the Network of Awareness on Patreon, on Supercast, on Twitter, IG, TikTok, Telegram. And now I'm taking my works starting this week. And I already started the channel, but I have a channel on BitChute called networkofawareness.tv. And it's going to be a lot of what I'm putting on my TV channel. So I will be taking excerpts and certain presentations that I do on my TV network and placing them on BitChute. But they'll be just brief snippets of a long 1 to 2 hour presentation. And I'll be taking, 3 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 1 minute clips, and I'll be placing them on BitChute.com as well as Telegram, because I've been on Telegram for a while sharing information. And the good thing about Telegram presently, with over 700 million users that are using this platform, is that they're not censoring anything in regards to when it comes to the science appliance, aka you know what. And I've been censored so much, and I've been shadow banned so much by platforms like YouTube and Spotify and others, that there's only a few platforms left where I can speak freely. And that's, like I said before, the only reason why I'm taking this to a television channel, because at least with a television channel, opposed to the app that I was going to get, people, when I first was going to come out the app, it was looking good, but there was all these fees from Apple and Android, and it was more of an app for like coaches, people that are in fitness and stuff like that. And I didn't feel that this was going to be conducive to get the word out. But this TV network was going to be a better fit than the app. And when I started getting really, really shadow banned, these people from Texas hit me up and they sent me a promo, and I liked it and I looked more into it, and I was like, wow, this is cool. But of course, with everything, it takes time. So Network of Awareness TV is coming out in August, and I've still been putting in a lot of work. It's one of the reasons why I'm going to be doing a lot of pre-records, because I've taken on a hell of a lot of projects, and I'm not complaining about it. But what I realized is that doing live, it's got to be once in a while, maybe once a week, if that. I might go live this Friday, even though I went live on Monday, but I'm not sure. But either way, one thing I will guarantee you people is that you will get a show at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 days a week, faithfully. And I might even do bonus episodes. And just to let you know, we have to understand the world for what it really is. And we have to call bullshit when we see it. Because there's a lot of bullshit out here. A lot of it. Tons of it. There's a lot of fuckery. There's a lot of just shit that don't make no fucking sense. And this particular topic today, Gender X, the mutant species, is a big one. It is a big, big problem. It's a problem for the Most High. And the Most High gonna wash his hands of this. Trust me. And I don't speak on the behalf of the Most High, because we don't know what the Most High is thinking, but I can tell you from past events and from scriptures, the Most High finds this to be an abomination. And it hasn't changed, people. It truly is. This shit right here, oh boys, it's something. And it needs to be addressed. It really does. It needs to be addressed. So let's start addressing this fuckery. This is something that there's just so much going on, especially when it comes to legislation here in the United States. And to all my international listeners, a lot of you are experiencing these changes in legislation and things in your neck of the woods. So this is affecting everybody across the board, across the world. So what is Gender X, right? Let's look at what Google has to say about this. It says X means a gender that is not exclusively male or female. Some examples include non-binary, agender, or gender non-conforming. And then you got those other ones that I had listed on the promo today and that I have on the artwork. And I got some of these from a longer version of what the LGBT is. So check this out. LGBT LGBTQIA, which stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning, intersex, and allies. Woo! Now, let me say this before I even go any further. If you are a homosexual, whether male or female, this show doesn't necessarily pertain to you, even though it's been written and it's already been revealed that homosexuality is an abomination. Men are not supposed to sleep with men. Men are just not supposed to sleep with men, and women are not supposed to be sleeping together because nothing comes out of that. And I know that they promote people being in love and all that, and I know gay people, and I have a best friend that I grew up with that I love dearly. There's a homosexual. But according to how life works in nature, it is the reciprocal of how nature operates. And I don't have anything against gay people. I've met some of the most wonderful, beautiful gay people that, I can ever meet as far as human beings. And I don't demonize them. And there's a lot of gay people that are gay that don't act like flamboyant, fruitcakes like you see a lot of these people doing. I think they call them queens. And I personally, in my own life and in growing up, I never liked that. I never liked seeing men act overly feminine. I always found it to be like disgusting and just like off the wall, just stupid. It just didn't make sense to me. And I'll tell you this, I respect the homosexuals that are gay, but they're not trying to let everybody know how gay they are. I respect those people because they do what they do, but they're not trying to push it on you. And there are gay people out there like that. So this broadcast is not, this show is not directed towards you. The show is to educate people about the Luciferian agenda behind this gender X movement. You see, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning, and this is all just bullshit titles that they're allowing people to subscribe to, and they're making it legal. So let's see how legal it's becoming, because there's so much information on this, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to cover it all in this show, but I'm gonna try to cover as much as I can. So what does the X mean on your ID, your driver's license? Hear what it says. It says, starting today, this was on November 13th of 2019, on a Washington driver's license, this is in the state of Washington, and on the permits or any type of identification card in Washington. The X is an alternative to M for male or F for female, and is available to anyone. So by you having that on your driver's license, it's basically saying that you can identify as what you want. And let's see which states throughout the United States that are actually have made this legal. It doesn't surprise me that California is on the list. You heard me talking about California yesterday. California they are the epitome of fuckery when it comes to humanity and to the righteousness. They are vile and demonic out there. And when I mean them, I'm talking about the governing bodies and the laws that they pass. California is a shit show. It's just fuckery on steroids. The other is DC. Of course it would be DC, right? Because that's where all those fucking demons lurk. And all of them are having sex, orgies, and they're all bisexual, and they're having sex with transgenders. I mean, it's a big shit show in DC with the politicians. Then you have Arkansas, Colorado, Connecticut. Connecticut is huge on this too, man. Big time. They really support transgenderism, especially in the school. And it's a big problem. It's causing major turmoil and strife with parents that live in Connecticut. If you get a chance, people, there is a documentary on Netflix, and I can't remember the name. I do apologize. I can't remember the name. But if you go to documentaries, there is a documentary that is showing different kids that are transgender in high school wanting to do their sports. And in Connecticut, there's these two black males, teenage males, that are claiming to be transgender, and they're running track against other girls. And it's two black boys that are just winning all the races against the girls. It's just a big problem. The other states that I forgot to mention are Hawaii and Illinois. Now, this is something else that I came across that I thought it was just interesting, because it's just like, what is MTX gender? Well, MTX and M2X, a gender queer or gender expansive person assigned male at birth. People, just reading this to you, if you can't understand the wickedness behind this, then there's something wrong with you. This doesn't even make sense, but they're making it make sense. They're making it part of overall legislation, and they're implementing implementing it into society and culture to where it becomes the norm. And they're doing a good job at it. I mean, they're having these parades where people get to walk around naked, and you have kids watching this shit. It's insane. Then on top of that, what is the L in LGBTQIAPK? Every time I read this type of stuff, I can't help but laughing, because it's like, listen, I'll say it again. If you are a gay person, be gay, all right? But don't push it down my kid's throat, and don't bring your shit around, because it's not healthy. But if you want to be gay, go on ahead. But all this extra shit is so unnecessary. So unnecessary. But it is what it is. This is what's going on. So the L, or the I, the I, it stands for intersex. What is intersex? It's a person born with reproductive or sexual anatomy that does not fit the typical understanding of that particular gender. Their physical, hormonal, and even chromosomal characteristics are neither all male nor all female. What the fuck does that mean? It's like, how do you justify this shit, people? How do you justify this shit? But yet they do. And you're going to tell me that Satan is not real? You're going to tell me that Satan is not fucking real? Satan is about real as it's going to get out here. But you know what? So is the Most High. So is Father Yahweh Elohim. Very much fucking real. And a lot of you people, you're going to find out in the worst of ways. And I hope and pray that I'm the one that gets ordained and anointed to bring that truth to you live and direct in the most harshest ways when the time comes for when this spiritual battle reaches its climactic point. Now, it says, how many genders are there? Let's check to see how many genders are there. Well, according to them, there are many different gender identities, right? However, gender isn't about someone's anatomy. It's about who they know themselves to be. Rock the shit. So you have male and female. Now, I'm going to tell you something. That's all that there is. There are males and females. Either you have a penis or you have a vagina. I am a male. I'm a man, not a ma'am. I'm a man. I am a man. And I am so grateful that the Most High made me the man that I am. And being a man, I am attracted to females. I'm also a father, which means that at some point in time, I stuck my penis into a vagina and out came sperm, and 9 months later, a child was born. And guess what? That's how civilization, or should I say, that's how humanity continues to persist and exist throughout the world, people. This shit ain't fucking rocket science. Now, let's dig into what does non-binary mean. Now, what non-binary means, according to, this distorted world we live in, some people don't identify with any gender. So some people's gender changes over time. People whose gender is not male or female use many different terms to describe themselves with non-binary. What non-binary means is being one of the most common other terms include genderqueer, agender, bigender, and more, right? So that's what non-binary means. And I'm trying to go through all of them so you can get a better understanding of what their interpretation or meanings that are defined in Google. What does gender fluid mean? Gender fluid, or should I call it, it says gender fluidity, refers to the change over time in a person's gender expression or gender identity, or both. That change might be in expression, but not in identity, or in identity, but not expression, or both expression and identity might change together. Now said, ENBY or NB is simply an abbreviated way of saying non-binary. What is third gender called? Often called transgender. Transgender by outsiders. It says Indian societies, most Hiras consider themselves to be third gender, neither male or nor female, nor transitioning. They are just different gender altogether. Boy, y'all really got a shit show out there in India, right? What are the fourth genders? In English, the fourth genders are nouns that are masculine, feminine, common, and neuter. Can you legally be intersex? And it says it does not require medical documentation and will be available to any citizen who wishes to opt out of binary sex and gender classification. And on September 26 of 2016, intersex California resident Sarah Kelly Keenan became the second person in the United States to legally change her gender to non-binary. Now, this shit just goes so deep, people. You know that they've listed 76 different genders. They have androgynous, androgynous. They have bigender, butch. Listen, back in the days, if we called you a butch, that means you was a woman that was very rough and masculine, and it was a lesbian. It was these lesbians that try to act like men. That's what we used to call them, butches. And I still do to this day. I don't give a fuck. You have cisgender, which I'm gonna get into all of that. You also have gender expansive, gender fluid, gender outlaw. All right. Wow, this shit is insane. Let me back up here. Boy, is this something else. Check this out. This is another thing that caught my eye. What are the 11 types of sexuality? Well, they have the loromantic, which is a person who identifies as a loromantic, experiences romantic attractions toward others. Allosexual, this is an umbrella term. Androsexual, aromantic, asexual, automantic, autosexual, bi-curious. That's one of my favorites, bi-curious. It's like, oh, I'm bi-curious. What the fuck does that mean? That means, that I'm just curious about having sex with men and women. Okay. What does pangender mean? Pangender is a term for people who feel they cannot be labeled as female or male in gender. And what are neopronouns? Neopronouns are some people who will use more than one set of pronouns, and you are encouraged to alternate among them in conversation. Neopronouns are a category of new pronouns that are increasingly used in place of she, he, or they when referring to a person. Some examples include XE, XEM, XY, or Z, higher, hairs, EYM, EIR. You see the fuckery behind this shit? This is just insane, man. This is insane. This is probably one of the most wickedest things that Satan is putting into culture and society present day. Truly is. Now, this is another interesting thing that I came across. It says, how do I know if I'm gender fluid? Well, let's see how someone would know if they're gender fluid. Gender fluid people are people whose gender changes over time. Oh, my apologies, people. If I laugh way too much during the broadcast, I'll try to keep it together. A gender fluid person might identify as a woman one day and a man the next. Oh, okay. They might also identify as agender, bigender, or another non-binary identity. One of my favorite clips from Dave Chappelle's Netflix specials, I think it was the second one, Sticks and Stones. But what the brother said was so true. What Dave Chappelle said was like, when he wakes up in the morning, he can't change that he is a black man, right? He just can't do that. None of us can. When we wake up in the morning, whatever our skin complexion is and whatever social construct that's been attached to that skin complexion is how people see us. So how in the hell do you have a community of people that get to choose how people need to see them and address them? How is that possible? And something that Dave Chappelle said is that he said that means that one day I could just wake up and say, I'm Chinese. You know what I mean? And then everybody has to refer to him as Chinese because he identifies as Chinese. And we know that that's not going to happen. They're going to see him as a nigger or a black man or an African American. But they damn sure are not going to see him as a Chinese man. And Chinese people will feel disrespected by that, right? Naturally. But yet, this is what's going on with this. This is what's going on. And the only reason I'm even doing this show, people, is because it's affecting our children. It's affecting our children. Back in the days, they were called transvestites, and most of them were in Manhattan. I mean, they were all throughout New York City when I was growing up, but it was very rare that you would see one. But when you was in Manhattan, that's usually around Greenwich Village is where you would see them mostly. And I remember as a kid seeing my first transvestite or transgender, and I was like, whoa, it shit fucked me up because I was like, what is that? Like, what am I looking at here? And there was a certain aura to this person that was just off. It was dark. It was all distorted. I also got traumatized when I was a child by watching a movie called Sleepaway Camp. That shit gave me fucking nightmares, people, because at the end of the movie, if you ever get to watch it, check it out or just scroll to the end. That was one of the first, if not one of the first movies in the 1980s that came out. It's called Sleepaway Camp. Check it out. One of the first movies that showed you the psychosis and how these people operate. And it was this girl in the movie that was at this camp and she started killing people, which this is a testament treatment to how they really are, because a lot of transgenders are emotionally and hormonally unbalanced, and they're taking all these injections, all these different drugs, and a lot of them are very, very aggressive. And many of you that are listening, seeing these videos on TikTok and YouTube and IG and all these different places where they've shown videos of these people, of these mutants losing their shit over the littlest things, and they just pop off because they're hormonally imbalanced. They're fucking psychologically fucked, and they are very violent and aggressive. Now, are all of them like that? Absolutely not. But there's a good majority of them that are, a great majority. And I'm not trying to say that everybody who's doing this is like gonna wind up trying to kill you, whatever. But a great majority of them are just, they're off the freaking meat rack, man. They're just out there, and they hate when you speak truth. They hate when you speak about the Most High and letting them know that they're an abomination. They hate that shit, and it's crazy because heterosexuality, like just the love between a man and a woman, is the universal principles to life. It's the two forces that make the world what it is when it comes to humanity. And I've always said this, and I'm going to continue to say this. All these fucking people that are claiming to be all these different types of gender, guess what? They came out of a fucking vagina. All of them. So what are we talking about here? You wouldn't be able to exist, you fucking mutant, if your mother and father didn't have sex. Plain and simple. But this is what they're doing, and it's affecting our children. And to put emphasis on how it's affecting the children, check this out. What is a non-binary child? What is a non-binary child? Well, what does it mean for a child to have a non-binary gender identity? Very simply, it means that neither binary option of being strictly male or strictly female describes their gender. What are non-binary parents called? Oh man, just talking about this is it's a little like it gives me a headache. But we have to talk about this. We gotta bring the truth out, because this fuckery, we're not falling for it, people. We're not falling for it. And the Most High's people, his 1/3 ain't falling for this shit. Non-binary parent names include Maddie, Addie, Poppy. They put Poppy in there? Neeby. Donors are referred to by name as donor, uncle, or by various nicknames including Batman and Popeye, the cowboy from Wyoming, and Spunkle, which stands for special uncle. One person even took inspiration from Les Mis, whatever that means. It says, can gender dysphoria start at 13? It says, while symptoms of gender dysphoria often appear in early childhood, it's not uncommon for them to appear during adolescence, or in some case, even adulthood. And you see, they put all this here to make it seem like it's actually real and that it's actually normal. But it's all wicked. It's all part of Luciferian principles and agendas that people like Aleister Crowley was practicing. It's to do what thou wilt. It's anything goes. Oh, I want to be a boy today. And then tomorrow, I'm going to be a girl. And then the next day, I'm going to be agender. And the day after that, I'm going to be cisgender. And then after that, on Friday, I'm going to be, it's like, shut the fuck up. But this is what they're allowing people to do legally. And if you even say anything about this shit, like I'm doing, I already know this episode is going to get a lot of backlash. I already know that the haters are going to come out. I already know that there's going to be people that make comments about it. But guess what? I don't give a fuck. Not even a little bit. I don't give 3 fucking Pfizers. I don't give 2 Modernas. I don't give 4 AstraZenecas. I don't give 1 motherfucking Johnson & Johnson. I really don't. The truth is the truth. And the truth shall set you free. And the truth is that this is all an abomination. So let's look into the transgender, because that seems to be the big one right now. That's the one that's really gaining a lot of support. It's gaining a lot of traction, and it's gaining a lot of legislative laws to support it. Just in the past 10 years, it's just been insane. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read, excuse me, folks, sorry. I'm going to read a couple of articles here in how, things that are happening in this country when it comes to transgenders. Now, it says here that transgender is an umbrella term used to describe people whose gender identity or gender expression differs from. Now, there is in Wikipedia a definition for this. It says transgender or trans people who have a gender identity or gender expression that differs from the sex that they were assigned at birth. Some transgender people who desire medical assistance to transition from one sex to another identity as transsexual. And this is the thing. You got a lot of dudes that look like women, and they're getting their breasts done, but they're keeping their penises. And then what they're doing is that they're having sex with men, and the men are penetrating them anally, which is sodomy, which is also an abomination. This shit is real simple, but they're making it complex because this is the Luciferian agenda, and it's alive and well. Now, I'm going to go into an article here. It says federal judge blocks new guidance for transgender athletes in 20 states. So in Topeka, Kansas, federal judge in Tennessee has blocked new guidance for transgender athletes in 20 states, including Kansas. Kansas Attorney General Derek Schmidt says on Monday, July 18th, a federal court issued a temporary injunction that prohibits the enforcement of new expansive applications of federal law to transgender athletes and related matters of gender identity. Late Friday, AG Schmidt said a judge in the U.S. District Court of the Eastern District of Tennessee granted the injunction he and 19 other state attorneys general sought to halt enforcement of guidance issued by Equal Employment Opportunity Commission and Department of Education against the plaintiff states. Schmidt said the guidance claimed to have resolved highly controversial issues like whether schools must allow those who were born male to compete on a girls' sport team. And I told you this is a big problem in Connecticut right now. Now, whether employers and schools could maintain sex-separated showers and locker rooms, and whether individuals could be made by the government to use another person's preferred pronoun. According to the AG, the court recognized that President Joe Biden's administration had attempted to expand the scope of the Supreme Court's decision in Bostock versus Clayton County, which narrowly focused on employment discrimination and did not address any of the other issues covered in the guidance. The federal court has recognized this illegal overreach by Biden administration to unilaterally resolve these sensitive questions that are better addressed by elected representatives. Schmidt said it is clear that the administration is determined to make sweeping one-size-fits-all policy changes without public comment or proper notice. Schmidt said the guidance could have invalidated state laws across the nation and could bar states from legislating on the matters such as separating sports competitions by biological sex. People, you can't have a dude, a male, a young man racing against a female, because if you have a 16 or 17-year-old boy or teenager running against a 16 and 17-year-old girl, chances are the boy is going to win. And in the case that I told you about in Connecticut, you got these two young teenage boys that are diesel as fuck racing against the girls in Connecticut and whooping their ass. And it's so unfair. And it affects if these girls, go to college and get their scholarships that they're working hard for and that they really want to get. It just affects so much. The documentary that I saw focused on another girl too, or boy, or girl that transitioned to a boy and was wrestling with other boys. And the only reason that the girl that was transitioning to a boy was even able to wrestle with them, in the sense of, I'm not talking about law, but was actually able to maintain, is because they were injecting her with so many testosterone hormones. It's like injecting yourself with steroids. You're going to get diesel, you're going to get strong, and you're going to have the strength of a man eventually. And this young teenage girl was diesel. But I'm not knocking the work ethic that this girl had, but claiming to be a boy and then you're injecting yourself with all this hormone treatment, that's like cheating, people. In sports, if you take any type of testosterone enhancement or PEDs, which is performance enhancing drugs, you get disqualified, you get suspended because it's considered cheating. So why is this any different? Doesn't make sense, but yet it does, because it makes sense that this is all a wicked, very wicked agenda. So let's take a look into an article that I came across in the American Psychological Association, right? Because the DSM-5 is where they changed these diagnoses of people and made it more common. So what does transgender mean, right? And let's read into this article. It says, according to the APA style guide, the term transsexual is largely outdated. Why? Why is it outdated? Why you didn't want to leave it that way? You wanted to make something that was already fucking complicated and fucked up, more fucked up and complicated. It says, according to the APA style guide, the term transsexual is largely outdated, but some people identify with it. This term should be used only for an individual who specifically claims it. While the term transsexual appears multiple times throughout this document, APA Committee on Sexual Orientation and Gender Diversity is undertaking systematic review of its use, along with other terms. So in the meantime, it says, please refer to guidelines for psychological practice with transgender and gender nonconforming people. It says for more up-to-date language regarding transgender and gender nonconforming people. So this is a PDF file that they allow you to download. Now, it also says transgender is an umbrella term for persons whose gender identity or gender expression or behavior does not conform to that typically associated with the sex to which they were assigned at birth. Gender identity refers to a person's internal sense of being male, female, or something else. Gender expression refers to the way a person communicates gender identity to other behavior, clothing, hairstyles, voice, or body characteristics. Trans is sometimes used as a shorthand for transgender. While transgender is generally a good term to use, not everyone whose appearance or behavior is gender nonconforming will identify as a transgender person. The ways that transgender people are talked about in popular culture, academia, and science are constantly changing, particularly as individuals' awareness, knowledge, and openness about transgender people and their experiences grow. Unfucking real, people. That's all I gotta say to that. Now, what does cisgender mean? So a cisgender, this is what's called cisgender man, all right? They added this word in 2017. Cisgender, also styled as cisgendered and often shortened to cis, describes someone whose internal sense of gender corresponds with the sex the person had or was identified as having at birth. Okay. And it says, what does the phrase cisgender mean? And it's a term that means whatever gender you are now is the same as what you presume for you at birth. So it's like basically saying that now you're like, oh, I do want to identify as male. Oh, okay, you're cisgender. All right, cool. Now it says, when did cisgender become a thing? A thing. See how they word this? When it became a thing. So this is the thing. So let's find out about this thing called cisgender. Cisgender was coined in academic journal articles in the 1990s. It started to gain broader popularity from around 2007. Okay. Who was the governing administration in 2007, folks? So it says transgender theorist Julia Serrano discussed in her book, Whipping Girl, over the next decade, activists and scholars in online forums helped to literally spread the word. So this came from a book that a woman wrote, and she basically shared her opinions and perceptions and came up with this word, and now this word has become a common word that people are using to identify themselves all over the world. What is the synonym for cisgender? It's called shithead. Cishead. C-I-S-H-E-T. Cishead. Cishead means someone is both cisgender and heterosexual. It could also mean both cisgender and heteromantic. In other words, a cishead person identifies as the gender they were assigned at birth, and they're attracted to people of the opposite gender. Woo! Boy, this shit go deep, people. I'm telling you, man. Fucking insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. Insane in the membrane. Got no brains. Oh, boy. So it says, what does cisgender men mean? And I already described that, but what you're seeing a lot is you'll see like a girl that's claiming to be binary, and she looks all fucking weird, right? She looks kind of like a boy, but also you could tell she's a girl because she's got breasts and all that, and she'll maybe have a mustache or a beard. And I'm not making this up, people. This is like real shit. And then you'll have a dude that looks somewhat normal, but a little off. You know, he may have earrings in his nose and some purple hair, whatever the hell, and he looks somewhat normal though, but yet he's claiming to be a cisgender, and they're a couple. And what's happening a lot too, and they're promoting this on in the media, is you have these females that they're claiming to be transgender, so they were females, right? But they look like straight men, but they still have vaginas. And then they'll get with a man that identifies as cisgender or something else, and he looks like a homosexual, but then they have sex, and that female that's claiming to be a man and looks like a man has the baby. And they did this with 3 different couples on the morning show where they were glorifying. It was like, congratulations. And you see this, they're showing you pictures with the guy with his beard or the girl with his beard looking like a man but has a belly. And I was just like, wow. Who was the artist that did that? Nas? Whatever his is, Little Nas? Didn't he do you that shit where he took a picture where he was pregnant? And it's like, come on, people. Can you not see the satanic Luciferian agenda here? Can you not see how wicked this is and the glorification behind it that is affecting the minds of many of our children in this country and across the world? It's a huge problem, people. It really is. It's fuckery on steroids. That's all I can say. So people, we have to be aware of this type of stuff, because if you're not, it's gonna be a bad thing for you, because it might affect your children because you're not aware. Your children might be going to school, getting educated on this, and because you decided to not be heavily engaged in your child's life, when your child starts to get older and act like this, it's like, and I've seen it a lot, where especially if the parent is fucked up, they allow their children to do whatever they want, and they say, oh, I'm still gonna love you, and it's like, no, like, you can't support that, because you might as well just become a Satanist. Call it a day. This is a big problem, people. It's a huge problem that's affecting our society and culture, in modern day society, especially here in the United Serpents of America. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm just gonna play a few songs, and then I'm gonna come back and just give some more info on this. But I just wanted to present this information so you understand what this all means, which it really doesn't mean shit. It's just altering the perceptions of society, of humanity. It's bringing a low vibration into the fabric of culture here in the United States, and it's making more and more kids that are naturally curious at a young age to start to gravitate to this. And I've always said it, when you play with fire, you're going to get burned. And there's a lot of kids playing with fire these days when it comes to this type of stuff, and they're getting burned. Didn't we just recently had a transgender who was really a man posing as a girl go into a bathroom and rape, I believe it was an 11, 12, or 13-year-old, rape them. But if you didn't pass the laws to allow these people to go in the bathroom, maybe, just maybe, you could have saved that little girl from being raped. And this is the type of stuff that they never glorify, they never bring up in the news. You know what I mean? They don't do any of that stuff. And you have to ask yourself, why? Because it goes against the agenda, the Luciferian agenda, to depopulate, to distort, to disgrace the Most High. And I say, fuck them. We gotta remain righteous, and we gotta do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And I'm gonna expose all this shit for as long as I possibly can. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, let's take a brief intermission and listen to some spiritual brothers and sisters do their thing with the music, because righteous music prevails. Let's go.
Ever say much, but they do whatever I say. They do whatever I say. Yeah. Every time I pull up in the driveway, she be like, oh my Yahweh, 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 Yahweh. I hardly ever say much, but they do whatever I say. But they do whatever I say. Yeah. Every time I pull up in the driveway, she be like, oh my Yahweh. Hopscotch on your planet. Why you all up in my space? I hardly ever say much, but they do whatever I say. Yeah. Every time I pull up in the driveway, she be like, oh my Yahweh. Hopscotch on your planet. Why you all up in my space? All these battles that I face, which I go proceed at a high rate. I watch them migrate and hide, cause when I rap I really hydrate. Catch a wave while you thugging out. And God is a woman, she love me wow. Make you spark your inner Noah's Ark. I got a flow that will flood your house. Every day is celebration. She roll it up, no hesitation. Sativa, I got from Shiva. Guarantee infinite elevation. There is love in the air. Release a ether, watch it linger. Middle fingers in the air. If you got a middle finger, I have to let go of the past, cause I crave a better future. Now my homegirl got an ass, and she meditate like she Buddha. She got the sauce like picante. We got the sauce like BBQ. We got the sauce like tomatoes. Escape from hell like I'm Kratos. I hardly ever say much, but they do whatever I say. time I pull up in the driveway, she be like, oh my Yahweh, hopscotch on your planet. Why you all up in my space? All these battles that I face, she Fetty Wap, she come my way. She swerve for me on the highway. I'm higher than life and God's ways. I'm trying to live, you a zombie. I pay my bills like I'm Cosby. I grind, kick, flippin' ollie. They witness how I be so gnarly. Back to the future like Marty. You're a slacker, McFly. My flow will approach your MK Ultra. I'm hacking your mind. Just let me be, or be left behind. Better climb your ladder. My flow antimatter. Vibrate through your spine.
The show is called Music, Satan's Favorite Gateway, because music can be a demonic portal. What I mean by that, you know, everybody knows the popular quote, what goes in must come out, all right? Because whatever you feed your mind and soul is going to eventually reflect in your actions and your thoughts.
It's a fight to the finish, just like Tyson and Silas. The spirit guides me to finish. To touch you, I hope you feel it. No doubt, and that's for the pigeons. Fist right to the villain of evil, manipulating this generation of children. Things I see in the media got me heated up. Girls barely in their teens used for pedophilia. Celebrities simply misleading them. How can you live with yourself, knowing damn well that you deceiving them? Feeding them nonsensical bullshit for their mental, like it's cool to be famous when you know it's detrimental. Y'all convince them that it's hard work, dedication, and God. Last time I checked, we give all our praises straight to Yahweh. Hey, come on, the music is more than just vibes. It keeps us pushing forward every day of our lives. It's my 9 to 5 to do it and do it right. You know I gotta stay on the grind.
If deception was the only way that I could reach the me, I would stop rapping in a heartbeat. Music is a way of praising Father Yahweh Elohim, but Babylon tells you chase the dream. Infinite songs, but only 1/3 of it is living up to what it's supposed to be. Thank Elohim for the remnant who understands the power of music.
The fear of COVID got people so petrified. In one's life lies, Yah and Satan choose a side. A lot of righteous haters try to play both sides. They lack faith and work, so spirit stays penalized. I realize life is hard without the Most High, and he who knows there's much to learn is really wise. Mad grateful to be alive to see the sun rise. Try to stop my vibes, I'm exercising swords and arms. I'm in my prime, righteously prepared to shine and grind. So shock the surprise every time you analyze my rhymes. Cause orbits align with stars you can't even find. I spit that light that leaves chills up and down your spine. You coulda, woulda, but didn't. Who you kidding? And my fans frontin' forbidden. Who the fuck is you fibbing? You better think twice before you think I'm tripping on y'all children. If you feel hard, then we gonna make you hard of hearing.
If deception was the only way that I could reach the me, I would stop rapping in a heartbeat. Music is a way of praising Father Yahweh Elohim, but Babylon tells you chase the dream. Infinite songs, but only 1/3 of it is living up to what it's supposed to be. Thank Elohim for the remnant who understands the power of music.
Feel like music influences your behavior or people's behavior?
If you allow music to do it, it's a difference. You know, like I said, there's people out here who could consume music one way and not, well, at least they feel that they're not affected by it. There's other people who live their life through music. Like anything that certain artists say is Bible to them.
The mind of the soldier holds star steepest and devotion.
He chose and focused, devoted to get a crown in the road with it.
Road is narrow and focused, you can tell by the way in which he flows with it.
None of these rappers, y'all opposers a lost soul in them.
Holding them all accountable for the music controlling them.
Countless of hundred thousands of soulless people supporting them.
Righteous music accounts, most folks won't go to them.
Don't worry about it, cause Yahweh knows who the chosen is.
Shalom to them for constantly dropping projects for y'all to spin.
Food for the spirit, once you hear it, now you confident.
Daily battle, fighting hard like we in a boxing gym.
Babylon ain't looking so no more, she needs oxygen.
Got the win, still got motions floating that we got to live.
Positive, roller coaster, corporate, watch cooperative.
Jab now, cry later, just not with the consequence.
Zombies swelling in the dark, my direction where Yahweh is.
Destined for greatness, but not the kind that you're thinking of.
Pointless being famous in a realm that the demons run.
Yet, you still got takers who make it vibrations.
Elated egos and cadences leave you feeling all vacant.
Cause Satan takes them and breaks them and makes them look real amazing.
The gaze and phase in the matrix, embracing the vacant awaken.
The cake and bacon temptation persuades to change your foundation. If Yahweh in your brain, you'll end up this population.
In one's life lies Yah and Satan truth inside. In one's life lies Yah and Satan truth inside. In one's life lies Yah and Satan truth inside. A lot of righteous haters try to play both sides. In one's life lies Yah and Satan truth inside. In one's life lies Yah and Satan truth inside. In one's life lies Yah and Satan truth inside. A lot of righteous haters try to play both sides.
I built this shit. Me. Brick by brick. And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down. Just cause you don't like the way I knock a nigga thought.
Brethren at my side. We just gotta endure. Taking my thoughts and bringing to Christ. Throwing down imaginations. I'm just trying to stay patient. Stand fast, can't wait. Yeah, we ready for war. Moving on one accord. Brethren at my side. We just gotta endure. Dodging demons like the Matrix. I'm just trying to go home. Swore made it that truth. So I just gotta move on. Ready for war, ready for death if it go like that. So if I die, I pray that I die for the most I got. I can't turn around, I can't look back, so it's all out war. I'm seeing the path so narrow, careful to not fall. Get up for it's too late. Sun come with a blaze with a judgment. In that day won't see where the sun went all black like sackcloth and the moon blood. This is a warning to go and repent. This is a warning to seek out the Lamb. This is the point where you go and examine. Gotta stay patient, I'm looking inside. Trust the Most High with all of my life. I love all my brothers, we suffer with Christ. When it feel like death, just know that it's life. Don't give up, Christ pay that price. Don't give up, Christ pay that price. Yeah, we ready for war. Moving on one accord. Brethren at my side. We just gotta endure. Taking my thoughts and bringing to Christ. Throwing down imaginations. I'm just trying to stay patient. Stand fast, can't wait. Yeah, we ready for war. Moving on one accord. Brethren at my side. We just gotta endure. Dodging demons like the Matrix. I'm just trying to go home. Swore made it that truth. So I just gotta move on.
In the mix. 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 In the mix.
You are now tuned in to the network of awareness.
They know I got the 9 on me.
Yeah, you know I got the 9 on me.
It's time to ride or die, homie.
Yeah, it's time to ride or die, homie.
Man, this how we survive, homie.
Yeah, this how we survive, homie.
That's why I keep the 9 on me.
Yeah, you know I got the 9 on me.
This world word is for the wise. Either ride or you gon' die. It's the blind leading the blind. We've been fighting for our rights, now we fighting for our life. Still no light I see inside, but I see the light inside and pray I don't go out my mind. I got a 9 in my hand and a couple of bullets. All I need is a reason for me to load it and pull it. There goes one in the shoulder, another one in the leg. Gotta finish the job and put another one in his head. I was told it's him or me, I'ma live to see another day. Killer do the killing, I don't see it any other way. People do the talking, I don't care what motherfuckers say. Keep your social distance or you getting blown the fuck away. No more Mr. Nice Guy, I gotta be the bad boy. I'm on high alert, I got all of you niggas paranoid. I'm way too much at peace for you to ever bother mine. That's the bottom line, cause we all live in them all time. The 9 on me.
Yeah, you know I got the 9 on me.
It's time to ride or die, homie.
Yeah, it's time to ride or die, homie.
Man, this how we survive, homie.
Yeah, this how we survive, homie.
That's why I keep the 9 on me.
Yeah, you know I got the 9 on me. Do or die till I die, homie. I leave a nigga paralyzed, homie. What you know about the 9 on me? With that 45, feel like plies, homie. I look up at the sky like I'm the guy, homie. Got him grinding off the muscle you supply for me. What you know about your bestie trying to ride on you? I ain't never tell, bitch, I define loyal. That type of upper shit just make my blood boil you. How you hate me after all the shit I done for you? Now I'm forced to get my head right, but that's kinda hard with you to dodge death twice. Respect life, but this ain't a show, I'm dead nice. I'm the one that could bring us to the next fight. Shed light over everything bad, I'm the one with a gun, it's a tech bite. Blah.
Listening to the one and only Oxakai. Yeah, Marquise, or we about to hit him with something they ain't heard before. Let's go. Let me talk my shit. The truth is the truth, no matter how you accept it. I'm a Hebrew king that Babylon has rejected. Morals and soul intact, never neglected. Fuck these rap industry niggas, yeah I said it. I'm stuck when I'm stuck with, cause I don't suck dick. I don't sell brick, it is what it is. The Most High blessed me with this gift just to spit. And lyrically call you fake rappers on your shit. Blow for blow, let me know I'm ready to go. The difference between me and them, I still have my soul. Why sell it for a season when you promised tenfold? But niggas will be niggas, ain't that right, Momo? The truth is the truth, no matter how you accept it. There isn't like blood that's coded in my genetics. Bar for bar, so you can feel my kinetics. I know my purpose and my mission, it's accepted, it's accepted.
Babylon has did everything to try to keep it from me. They don't wanna see me grow with the truth. Don't want me. The truth is the truth. I know my purpose now. Now I'm on a mission. Babylon has did everything to try to keep it from me. They don't wanna see me grow with the truth. Don't want me. The truth is the truth. I know my purpose now. Now I'm on a mission.
In the age of low wages and raging races, haters with mad faces that haven't been awakened. Takes an oasis to be rich and famous. Vibration vibrations can be real contagious. We all vagrants in a wasted matrix. All basic sensations have reached their apex. Time to give the hopeless a conscious facelift. It's stages and phases of inspiration. So don't say shit, it's just confirmation. I'm giving directions to misguided strangers. So do yourself a favor, stop spilling blood on the paper. One with the creator, we don't waver from no danger. This purpose with no caution, no hoping in slow motion. A lot of painful emotions got me feeling explosive, but I maintain from implosion to stay away from commotion. It's into the slogan to be God's chosen.
Babylon has did everything to try to keep it from me. They don't wanna see me grow with the truth. Don't want me. The truth is the truth. I know my purpose now. Now I'm on a mission. Babylon has did everything to try to keep it from me. They don't wanna see me grow with the truth. Don't want me. The truth is the truth. I know my purpose now. Now I'm on a mission.
day I'm grinding, chances that I'm taking, walking out on faith, yeah. Fuck what they saying, cause we winning, we winning. Oh man, here we go again. Niggas mad again cause we changed, elevated, renovated the house within ourselves, kicked them out like Pam, slammed the door, never again let anybody in. Tryna rob me of my energy, call them out suddenly, losing memory. Hate it when you keep it real, know it's such a tough pill. Gotta deal, what's the deal? The world we living in is full of shit. Right there, can't even think, niggas weak, women street. Everybody envy, everything, all likes, all views with no reality. Everybody fake, claiming they awake. When's the last time you prayed or helped somebody out when it wasn't for the clout? Yeah, I'll never make millions, my soul I'll never sell. To get it, I'll praise to Yah. Every single day I'm growing, hallelujah. Separate myself from them. No, I cannot quit. Yeah, I gotta win. Praise Yah till the end. I'ma keep on working. I'ma keep on grinding. Every day I'm working. Every day I'm praying. Every day I'm grinding. Chances that I'm taking, walking out on faith, yeah. Fuck what they saying, cause we winning, we winning. I praise to Yah. Every day I'm praying. I praise to Yah. Every single day I'm growing, hallelujah. Walking out on faith, yeah. I praise to Yah. I praise to Yah. Every single day I'm growing, hallelujah.
Hey, hey, hey. Hey, here I am. Should I kick down the door? Or bust in the window? Or knock on the door? Or peek through the peephole? I finally don't made it inside. Finally. You probably wonder what I'm doing here. Looking for pieces from my past. Running y'all to find them. If I find them, I can put them together. I just want to take a seat and sit down instead of the puzzle. I just want to know what I did wrong. What I gotta do to fix it and make it right. Cause right now I'm sitting in darkness. Praying y'all to beam the light down. On the location of the puzzle, on the area I need to visit next. Hey, I spotted me on Marcus. Let me write on the wall that I been here. On that I cried and reminisce. On the bullshit that I did in my past, I was a dumbass. Straight from the gutter to the porch. While I jump off the porch when getting ready. Praying y'all to hold me steady. Wiping my last tear as I head out to my journey.
We are united so strong. We've come so far. Our praise to the Most High. The battle isn't over till I'm standing on top. Just together, nothing to it. Know that we can do it. Here we are.
Knock, knock, open up, let me in, let me in. I'm looking for him that can change my life and clean all my sins. Clean all my sins. Not looking for Jesus, not looking for God, I'm looking for Yah. And I'ma keep getting louder, louder. Every time I knock, knock. It's been a long journey. Had to walk it all solo. I'm trying to live forever, ever. Never yelled out YOLO. Never yelled out YOLO? No. Do you play both sides? No. Do you like to get high? No. Are you scared if you die? No. I've been through the fire, I'm tough enough for that spiritual armor. I done found a Messiah. You can go and tell mama. My head's high, now I'm laughing when they try to bring the drama. Arms on, legs on, chest on, heads on, all.
We are united so strong. We've come so far. Our praise to the Most High. The battle isn't over till I'm standing on top.
Let's get started something right here, y'all. Yeah. Saluting to my family, I'm honored to spit on this. You are in the splash zone, I don't need no helmet. This is special to me, metaphors crazy. About to butcher this beat, Makamire psycho. Never been unstable, I am very faithful. To my sisters, to my brothers, yes, we come from different mothers. Shout out to the Hebrews, the one who is righteous. The other knuckleheads need to drown in the ocean.
shit. Very fortunate that I found a real family, the ones you know your whole life, turn on you swiftly, on and off like a light switch. Two personalities stay very far away. Real artists on here, we are here to stay.
Yeah, here we are cause we love y'all. No moonlight in here. The grass ain't greener on the other side. We right where we need to be. Thank Father Elohim, he believes in me. Hands to the east, on my knees. Can't achieve without the King of Kings. It's a pleasure, it's an honor to serve the Son and Father. I feel content. Thank you, Lord, for the wisdom and knowledge. Cause here I am, here we are, till the end, standing strong. Every day, heads up high to the sky, we battle on. The brass plate is strapped on, this is Babylon. No time for games, no time to play around. This ain't basketball. We're on, it's extra long. 1/3 is excellent. We keep the loss to the best of our ability with humility. Man, it's hard, but the euphoria keeps us pushing forward. Ain't no grumpy old troll put us down, not even cold. Cause truth is a journey and it's a test of faith. A tough fight, yeah, but here we are. All praise Yahweh.
Ever heard?
Attitude reflect leadership.
Attitude reflect leadership.
Attitude reflect leadership.
Attitude reflect leadership. Attitude reflect leadership. Attitude reflect leadership. Attitude reflect leadership.
Life is an unpredictable and amazing journey. Our ever-changing conditions within today's society and the constant new trends influencing cultures can become overwhelming, to say the least. But no worries. The Network of Awareness podcast radio show brings peace of mind in these challenging times. Follow us on your favorite podcast listening app and join our community of Network of Awareness at networkofawareness.com. So, to all my brothers and sisters in this truth, one final comment that I want to make, or statement I want to make in regards to this episode is that if you know people like this that are part of this gender X, especially if they're young, talk to them. If you care to, if you love them, if you care about them. Now, most of the time they're not willing to listen. So if they're not willing to listen, then don't waste your time. Don't give your energy where it's not going to be well received. But if you care about them and they respect you, talk to them. Give them counsel. Get to the bottom of this. Because a lot of this is mental instability. The wires in the brain are all fucked up. And I truly believe that a lot of these people, if they were to seek counsel and get to the core of what even created this idea or thought or perception of themselves and dig down deep, that a lot of these people can be rehabilitated from this Luciferian mindset. Truly. Because righteousness always prevails, and the Most High makes no mistakes. And the Most High has given many of you the ability and power to perform the most outstanding miracles in life. And like I always say, when I look in the mirror, I see a miracle that the Most High has brought here. But if they're not willing to listen, stay away from this energy, because it's very dark, it's very malevolent, and it's very toxic. And please, take your children out of the schools that are promoting this. Take your children away from being around these types of people, especially if they're around other children that are like this. Because I guarantee you, if you don't, those children are going to have an influence on your child. And then you're going to be dealing with something you don't want to deal with, because you didn't take the opportunity to take your children away from this toxic energy, from this demonic spirit. Because most, if not all of these people got demons on them. And when you see these clips throughout social media, you can see the demonic nature within their eyes. You can see that their auric field has a very dark, malevolent energy to it. It has a dark, malevolent connotation to it. So brothers and sisters, be aware and prepared, because this life that we are living is definitely not fair, for sure. But through the grace of the Most High and having unity and a bond with Yahweh Elohim, boy, I'm telling you right now, many things, many great good things can happen for you, because the Most High sees all, and he favors those who are worthy of being favorable. So, brothers and sisters, I want to thank you for this pre-recorded broadcast, or listening to this pre-recorded broadcast of the Network of Awareness, episode 49 of season 4, Gender X, the Mutant series. And we're going to be doing it again tomorrow for Testament Thursday. Anybody who has a testament that they want to give, they can always go to networkofawareness.com and put the testament in my website. On messages, I have a messages tab. Eventually, I'm going to create a tab for the testament to be recorded if they want to record it. But if you want to write it out, I'll definitely read it for you. And last but not least, I've been saying this for a while now, is leave a review, brothers and sisters. Leave a review on any platform, but specifically, if you can leave a review on Apple or on Podchaser, I have a link in the description box that you'll see. That's my podcast link. That's something I'm going to be distributing more and more, like I used to. And in that link, you can actually listen to the show on multiple platforms besides Spreaker, because I'm on all platforms. But also, you can leave a review on that link on either Apple or Podchaser. And if you don't want to leave a review on Apple or Podchaser, I would even prefer that you leave a review on networkofawareness.com. But definitely those three is where I prefer that you leave a review, because that helps the podcast go up in rankings. So I truly hope that many of you can take time, which is about 3 minutes out of your day, to leave a review. And it doesn't have to be anything extravagant, but just let the people know what you thought about the episode. If you want to give it 5 stars, give it 5. If you want to give it 2, give it 2. But just support this truth. So, brothers and sisters, when you live in the present, there's always an opportunity for a new beginning. And don't look for the light at the end of the tunnel, because the light is and always will be within you. So light up the tunnel and find your way through the darkness. All praise to Father Yahweh Elohim and his son Yahweh ben Yahweh and the holy archangels that protect us every single day. Barak Atah, brothers and sisters, and all praise to our heavenly creator, our Father, Yahweh, the Most High, never makes mistakes. Peace, love, and light, people.